It's the Eagles and the Jets, and it's all up next.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. Today we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the New York Jets. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game. So they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they've come in on a nice run of recent form. 4 wins out of 5. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So here come the Eagles, the defending NFC champs, led out by a man who was the runner-up to Patrick Mahomes at MVP balloting a season ago. Of course, that's Jalen Hurts.
And he's playing at a very high level here in this early part of the season. In fact, he leads the NFL in passing yards. Now, that's not always an indicator of success, but in his case, it is.
Now a man picked up on draft night this year, DeAndre Swift. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The numbers for him from a week ago: 9 carries, 87 yards.
After the last game, they have plenty of reason to be confident in their running game. And even though they're facing a top 10 defense, they're not going to shy away from doing what they do best. Make them adjust to them. Make them stop what they do before they go to any type of a changeup.
Here's Hurts to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. And they get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 17 yards and a 1st down for Philly. And worth pointing out, after that last completion, that puts this young quarterback over 10,000 yards passing for his career. And fair to say, he's not done yet.
No doubt about it. He's really just getting started because he's not quite into the prime of his career. So it's likely he's going to hit a few more of these milestones as this career progresses. So let's face it, we'll acknowledge this number and we'll celebrate the milestones down the road.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game. And all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Daquan Jones in on the tackle there. The Eagles in a very solid 4-1 here in the early part of the year. And they've come in on a nice run of recent form. 4 wins out of 5.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 30. 12 yards there as they move the chains. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, here's Swift. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and
It's pretty early in the game, but they've already tried to establish him not just as a runner, but as a receiver as well. Didn't happen there, but I wouldn't be surprised at all to see them try again shortly.
The kick by Elliott is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. It'll continue to be interesting in these wet conditions how these kickers fare, but first test, passed.
And how about how the special teams unit handled that? A lot of concentration to make sure the ball didn't slip through his fingers. After the snap, got it down and let him pop it through the posts.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. But the new-look Jets ready to go on offense, and it is the veteran Aaron Rodgers at quarterback.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
Oh, did the Jets miss this guy? Here's Breece Hall. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Well, this defense for the Eagles, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Hall again. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Now Rodgers. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. Hassan Reddick in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement, because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
See if they do that. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, if nothing else, they were able to pick up 1 first down on this drive and get it away from their own goal line. But not much happening after that, and it leads to a punting situation.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Oh, the return is Ward. Oh, good move. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. You talk about this Jets defense. Against the pass, they're hoping to trend in the opposite direction because right now they're ranked number 26 in the NFL.
And it's really difficult to prepare for this team. This is a #1 overall passing team in the NFL. but it shouldn't be hard to get excited about playing against them. The ultimate test going against that unit.
And that's why you and I are excited to broadcast this game.
Yes, sir.
Right back to Swift again on second down. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. Third down and 6. Throwing is Hurts. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big third down pickup of 20 yards.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Hurts throw complete there to Smith. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Swift trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Swift again. And good work there defensively as they're able to keep him out of the end zone. They lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up. The loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder. And they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
This Jet defense so far standing tall. They need another stop now. 3rd and goal. He'll look to throw. He will find Smith in the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys are able to extend their lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is.
Jake, shot me in the ass.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. Back on the field come the New York Jets for their 2nd drive. And they come in losers of 2 straight. And remember, they've got the open date on their calendar next weekend, but you think it's vitally important, Charles, that they focus on the task at hand here?
Absolutely, because these players, they know what's coming up, and the difference between taking time off following a win versus doing so on a 3-game losing streak, that's absolutely huge because they may come back if they lose this game to a facility, and there may be new faces in there and some teammates lost.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
No one has ever questioned the speed of Hardman, who used some of it to get a 1st down there. He and the Jets both hoping that the change of scenery could unlock a new level of production from it.
Rodgers. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10, just missed that one.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And again, it's Rodgers. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Shedding through the defense. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. DeAndre Swift and the Eagles back out there. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travel.
It's a foot race. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. And now a pause because we've got A.J. Brown dinged up on that last play, and they're going to have to get some medical attention to him. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Play action. Here's Hurts. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off, and the Jets are going to take over.
27 touchdowns and 8 interceptions.
And Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Throwing now is Rodgers. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
On 2nd down, a run with Hall. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this 1st half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Well, let's shine the spotlight on the former Georgia Bulldog, DeAndre Swift, who's set to begin this next drive. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Wide open is Watkins. He's got him. Down the left sideline. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Quez Watkins, 71 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead now stands at 13.
Jets 3. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And New York set to take the field. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done, because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right. Oh, that's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards to pick up there.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
On first down, Hurts. And his throw here is incomplete.
But he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Now a 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked up by D.J. Reed. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown.
Touchdown with 2 interceptions on the day, that and a pick 6 for the Jets.
Do they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they run standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just want to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead will shrink to 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. DeAndre Swift and the Eagles back out there. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game. But really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because any completions on first and second down, now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain of 37.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead now stands at 13. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. The Jets going to take over now late in this first half. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it, down by 2 scores. Rodgers now on first down.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Darius Slay with a pick, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Well, let's shine the spotlight on the former Georgia Bulldog, DeAndre Swift, who's set to begin this next drive. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the second quarter.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Hurts to throw.
Being chased out left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. It's a no-run here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a first down here as they get into field goal range as well, down at the 17-yard line.
And an Eagles first down.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Hurts.
And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. A great effort there as the first half is winding down.
And the Eagles will extend their lead here just before halftime. Well, CD, you know, anytime they get close to the red zone, he is such a threat, and there he is again already, his 2nd touchdown of the ball game.
And I know it's probably a little bit of a failing on my part, but you know I watch a game through defensive eyes, and I don't understand what the coverage was doing there. When he headed out deep, they should have adjusted and flowed towards him. Instead, they left him out there and gave him a chance to make a big play. And, of course, he did exactly that. His size, speed, and versatility makes him a top target in any game.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
The Jets going to go on offense one last time in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run.
The tackle by Nakobe Dean.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, where it was the Falcons who were able to pick up the victory at home. Desmond Ridder, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Next, we head off to check out another game. And this one going the visitors' way as the Cardinals have the lead in that one. Kyler Murray has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Denver Broncos. Russell Wilson strong in the victory as his guys run their record to 6-1 on the campaign. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly. Both these teams getting a chance to dry out, maybe change their cleats if need be. But halftime's just about over. Time to get back to it. And for the call of the second half, here's Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Davis fighting. He loses the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. And that has to be so frustrating because you know that they had something set up there for this first drive of the second half. It wasn't the fumble.
Sometimes no matter what you go over at halftime, no matter what you say, errors will result, and that's exactly what happened here. They were trying to change things from what happened in the first half. Instead, they continue to make mistakes.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. Throwing is Hurts. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Hurts sets up to throw it. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal. Back to throw again. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And the Jets are going to get the football back. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on 4th.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call, is it not? In this situation, everything was right except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
They try and run on 1st down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra hut, you know, that extra emphasis on it. Got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
Rodgers to throw on second down.
A short throw to Conklin, the tight end.
And he'll be out of bounds right around the 14. They get 9 there, and in the process escaping their end zone, picking up a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
A quick throw out to Hardman on the perimeter. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
First and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Rodgers now to throw.
A short throw to Conklin, the tight end.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
This is Wilson on the jet sweep.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
They'll run with Hall.
Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he is finally taken down.
What kind of fucking tackling was that? He should have been there.
5-yard line. Well, they only needed a small gain on third down. They end up getting over 30 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Now it's Rodgers. His throw incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now Rodgers.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagle 16. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Rodgers to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now Rodgers. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
But the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And with that last field goal, that puts him now at 300 made on his career, and that is something to celebrate.
And that puts him in the top 30 all time. So he's really made a mark, and he's got plenty of life left in that leg.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here are the Eagles to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He finds his man, complete. That's Watkins. Down the left sideline. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Quez Watkins with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Eagles are able to extend their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well. So give some credit to the defense.
Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Picked up by James Bradbury. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A gain of 32 that time.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
Great.
He'll look to throw. Open man, he's got him. That's Smith for the Philadelphia touchdown. Devontae Smith with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Eagles have opened the lead up to 30. Well, familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field.
And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Hall on a give up the middle.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
68 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one.
We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers.
Finding Hardman here over the middle.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
First down. First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Back now here at MetLife Stadium. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Rodgers now on first down.
Locates Hardman for another catch.
And he's taken down inside the 30. 12 more yards for him there. It's a first down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers.
He finds Wilson.
And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
They'll run with Hall.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown.
Breece Hall with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jets get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. So, partner, it was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took them home.
And they trust their offensive line as well, because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and the lead is down to 24.
Jets 20.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And wait a minute, did the Jets get it? They did. Great job by the kick team there to get the football, but also don't forget about the man that started it, the lonesome kicker himself.
I love that you brought him into it because
pressure comes and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
Give that sack to Nakobe Dean.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Here's Rodgers. He will find Davis on the left side, complete. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. It'll go as a gain of 4. And it'll be a third and about 13. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Can't get away, and he's taken down. Hassan Reddick able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now Rodgers, gotta have this one. And it's gonna be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Eagles are gonna take over in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Hurts throw taken in by Watkins here. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Here's Hurts to throw. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal. Throwing is Hurts. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Hurts sets up to throw it. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the action...
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Holding offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
The holding penalty, that puts them in an unenviable spot here as they try again on 3rd and goal. Hurts. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays just like that one we saw there.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Olamide Zaccheaus, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are looking to run it to 5-1 on the season as they add to their fourth-quarter lead. Well, Charles, they had the comfortable lead, and now it's even more comfortable. Another score here in the fourth quarter to grow that lead.
But I think your initial reaction is surprise when you see a team piling it on this late in the blowout. But there are plenty of coaches who also think that if you pull up completely and stop trying to play the game, it shows disrespect to their opponent. So they don't want to embarrass them. They continue to let their players go for it.
Elliott good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Now Davis fumbles it, and it's picked up by the Eagles. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone. And that one is his second fumble loss. Not a good look out of your return man.
And not only does he hurt the momentum for his team or even change momentum of the game, but now they've got a decision to make on his own sideline. Does he continue to do that? Do you keep him in that role, or do you bring someone else in at this time?
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
73.
From the gun, it's Hurts. He will find Smith in the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. Well, where our booth is here, we can see all of the writers to our left. And their post-game stories, Charles, they have been filed for some time because this game, boy, is it lopsided.
Yeah, we can see our guy Scoop. He's even got his fedora tipped over his face. I think he's taking a nap now. Nothing left to write for him, but how gratifying has it been for them to see what they've done in practice and carry it into a game and see the execution be so good. They've got to feel fantastic about what they've accomplished in this one.
Elliott good with a PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And the right there at the 25-yard line. And now out come the Jets. Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Hassan Reddick able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as well. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's Ward to return. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The 4th quarter up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Partner, you and I have struggled with this for years. You've got the lead. Just take care of the football and burn some of that clock. But there's something to be said for not taking your foot off the gas as well, because you can never have too big of a cushion. That one, though, falls incomplete.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on 4th. On 1st down, Hurts. And that's going to be incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
And Hurts is intercepted, his 3rd of the game. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
Completes it to Hardman. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
First and goal at the 6-yard line.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Rodgers going to throw to the goal line, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them, because just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers. So a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. This offense ready for their upcoming series as we get a look at the former Heisman Trophy winner, DeVonta Smith. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now, they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they have that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you've got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Complete to Zacchaeus. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Whistles and a stoppage here. Looks like one of the Eagles is in some discomfort out there. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. That one complete down the field to Smith. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Elliott now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And it was finished off by a touchdown from DeVonta Smith. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So out now come the Jets. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one. On 1st down, Rodgers. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. One final try now for Rodgers. And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago. And you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Eagles, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Jets, the losses are